Hey y'all. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Let's Mom Bitch. I'm your host, Alonda, and I'm so happy you chose to tune in today. This is episode number 20. Let's shoot the shit. How was y'all week? Mine was pretty good. On Saturday, I went to see Drew Hill and Silk at a local amphitheater. I went with one of my mommy group friends. We had an awesome time. Um, I'm usually pretty bougie, and I do not like to get like at the amphitheater, the general admission tickets um, are on the lawn, and the lawn area at this particular amphitheater is not covered. So, the outdoor shows are rain or shine. So if it just start pouring down raining on you, it don't matter. The show's still gonna go on and you're gonna lose your money. So I generally don't like to buy those tickets. I usually like to have a seat and I like to be a little closer to the stage. But my friend and I got the tickets at the last minute, and there weren't any seats available in like the terrace section, any seats available for two people together. So we decided on the lawn, and it was actually pretty cool. I just liked being able to sit there, chill, talk, dance. Um, you wasn't like really close up on people, like as far as like, let's say they bought the ticket right next to you, so you're shoulder to shoulder. No, you're just chilling, talking, getting drunk. um we had two bottles of wine and like snacks and stuff like that, so it was a good time. So I think that I will consider getting more lawn seats, and that saves money as well. And we could all use to save a few dollars. So we enjoyed it. And I do want to say that Silk, that's one group that their vocals are still, amazing. Like, how some groups, after they haven't been out in many years, they try to do like a concert and they just sound horrible. No, they sound like the same Silk from back in the 90s. So it was an excellent show, and I always enjoy Hill's performance. Although I don't know who's actually in the Drew Hill group anymore. I mean, Cisco can carry the show by himself, but it'll be Cisco. He'll bring out Nico was there, and I forgot what the big boy name was, Jay or something like that. But he was there. But then there's other members that I don't know, and I feel like when I went to go see them last year, it was different members then too. So I don't know. But regardless, they still sound good and they still do Drew Hill hits and Cisco hits. So I wasn't disappointed at all. I think I will always go see Drew Hill and Silk wherever they're at. Um I talked about the lawn seats. I do want to let you all know that Nyla's in here. She's asleep. She may wake up during this video. We shall see, but hopefully I'll be able to get through this episode or most of this episode without her waking up. So just keep that in mind. If you hear a little baby in the background, and I might have to turn on Miss Rachel or something like that. um I want to do a little update on Kiki Palmer and her baby daddy. Well, apparently Kiki had posted this made this post on Instagram, I believe, and it basically said that we lived together. He knew what I had on before I left. It wasn't about the outfit. So, I mean, just like I thought, he was doing that shit for clout. He's an aspiring actor. He probably ain't even like Kiki for real. I hate to say that, but he probably didn't even like Kiki for real. He was fucking with her so he could get out there. Thought that she was soft or a pushover for whatever reason, and slipped up and got her pregnant. And that put a little damper in his game. and he used that outfit as the opportunity. Was like, yeah, I'm gonna let her go out like that, but I'm gonna put her on blast so I could get my shine. And that's exactly what he did. That's what I believe. Ain't nobody gonna tell me no different. That man did that for clout, and he got his name out there for a little bit. But to be honest with you, ain't nobody talking about that shit no more. So you got your few minutes of fame, and that was it. And hopefully, no good opportunities come out of that for you, because that was just a bad look on you. Um, Regardless of whether you was trying to play that girl or whether you was serious with her, y'all still have a baby, and you still gonna have to know her for the rest of your life now. So I strongly suggest that man get it together. Um, what else we gonna talk about? The episode is called "Let's Shoot the Shit." So basically, we're just talking about random stuff. No specific topic whatsoever. Um, Nyla's stirring over there, so we'll see how this goes. um, just to add a few more things to the Kiki and her boyfriend or baby daddy situation. At this point in my life, a motherfucker only got one time to embarrass me in public. Now, I would hope that my husband know me enough to know that that's not what you do, and I feel like I know him enough to know that that's not the type of man that he is, and that's not something he has ever done to me thus far, and I don't think that he ever will. And being that we're married, if he ever did do it, I wouldn't necessarily divorce him for that. I wouldn't divorce him for that. But he would definitely hear my mouth, and he would definitely feel the wrath of Alonda, because that's one thing I'm not playing about. I don't do that embarrassing shit. You're not about to put me on blast in front of anybody anywhere. And that's the problem with people in their relationships. They put their problems on social media. They be in public arguing, be around family and friends arguing, telling their business and all that shit, letting people know their private matters, good or bad. You know what I'm saying? And that tends to fuck up the relationship. Let's be honest with that. Um, I celebrate my relationship. I celebrate my marriage. We do PDA. We do make a lot of posts about each other and what we're doing on social media, because we want to showcase a happy and healthy relationship, black love. So that's what we're doing. But you'll never see any of our drama ever play out on social media. Um, I can't speak for him. I don't believe that he would do that, but I can speak for myself in saying that you would never know anything bad about my marriage from social media. So that's just that on that. Um, I know it, Muna. She just be taking these little cat naps, and she just be popping up like it's nothing. Like, get some sleep, ma'am. Let me get some sleep, especially with me working third shift. And I just got off this morning, so I'm a little bit tired, but I wanted to get this episode out to you all. As I said I believe I said it on a previous episode, that this will be my last episode. I will not be back with another episode until August the 14th. I am going to take that time to promote the podcast a little bit more, get my setting and everything together for video podcasting, maybe even record in a studio for episode or two. I also want to start having some guests on. I know y'all like hearing me talk. I know I entertain y'all. I know y'all like seeing my husband from time to time, but there are more serious topics that I would like to discuss with you all. And I feel like in order to discuss some of these topics, we do need to have we do need to interview people who are familiar with the subject matter at hand. So I am going to be working on all of that, and I hope to continue to produce great content for you all. Um, we talked about Kiki, embarrassing people in public, Silk and Drew Hill. What else we talking about today, y'all? I keep seeing these posts, and I know I've spoke about this a couple times in a couple episodes, but I keep seeing these posts from men, how men want women to go 50-50 on the bills. I don't, there's absolutely no problem with going 50-50 on the bills with your partner, but it's just aggravating to me how these new age men act. Like, you don't want to be the provider. You don't want to be the sole provider. You want her to go half with you, but you don't want to go half on the household duties, the rearing of the children, and all that shit. Like, I believe in fairness in relationships. If you want me to go half, cool, but you also need to help out with the household duties. You know what I'm saying? Now, in my situation, I don't mind cooking and cleaning and taking care of the kids and going half on the bills. um we don't necessarily be like strictly half on the bills. Like, that's not a requirement. If I get paid and something's due, I pay it. If he gets paid and something's due, he pay it. And we do split the rent down the middle. Or sometimes, just depending on the situation, he may pay more of the rent this month and I may pay more of the rent the next month. It just depend on how the money came and, what each one of us had to do out of our paycheck. So in our household, it's not really 50-50. 50-50 is not a requirement. And my husband would prefer to pay everything himself if he could. But now these new age men, they want you to go half on everything, but they don't want to help with shit else. Now, I think what I was trying to say was that I don't mind cooking and cleaning and working, but I also instruct my husband on what to do in certain situations, and I do ask that my husband and my son pick up after their self and all that. Just help me out a little bit, and here and there my husband will have a day where he wants to wake up and start cleaning, in which I'll help him or I won't have to do anything. So I won't say that the duties are fairly divided in the household, but I feel like that we have a good understanding of what's expected from each other. So we're straight over here. I'm just worried about the type of men that my daughter is going to come across. And I'm even worried about the type of women that my son will come across when it's time for courting and falling in love and getting married and all that stuff. I pray that they find a good husband and a good wife, you know what I'm saying, and somebody that they can communicate with and um, be happy with, as minimal stress as possible. You know what I'm saying? The respect level is on the 1 million, because ain't nobody disrespecting none of mine. You know what I'm saying? So that's just all that I hope for. I'm just tired of these new men. I'm tired of this younger generation. So yeah. Um I've been catching up on the TV show Sisters, Tyler Perry Sisters. And it's been like a lot of relationship situations that's relevant, you know what I mean? And in one case, the man, I don't, I don't want to tell the show or talk about the show, and that, well, I guess I can, because I'm behind everybody else. So if you ain't watched it by now, then if you haven't made it to season 5, then and you don't want to hear no spoilers, then I suggest you stop listening now, because we about to talk about it real quick. So we talking about Andy and Gary. And Aunt Gary had bought Andy this $3 million penthouse, and I believe it was like a Rolls Royce or whatever. And he did it, of course, because he wanted to be with her, and she wasn't trying to be with him. And he tried to make it like it was hers regardless, but obviously it wasn't. He was spying on her. He was upset because she had another man in the house and all this stuff. And then he kept bringing up the fact that he bought the penthouse. I just hate shit like that. I don't understand how women or men can be gold diggers, because I would just always feel like crap knowing that somebody had something they could hold over my head. Oh, I paid your bills. Oh, I bought you this. Oh, I bought you that. Like, if you got to tell me what you did for me, or if you always talking about it or telling other people what you did for me, I don't want you to do it. You can have all that shit back. Um, I don't need it and I don't want it, because if you doing all of that, that shit's not genuine. And especially if it's my significant other or my husband or whoever the case may be who's doing that, like that just really irks my nerves. Um, so my advice to you all is, don't let nobody do nothing for you. Don't take no money. Ladies, stop taking money and gifts and stuff from these men and thinking that you don't have to give anything in return. Because if you don't give anything in return, 9 times out of 10 you're gonna be embarrassed or talked about, and you're gonna have a reputation out there. And hey, maybe that's contributing to the fact that why men don't want to pay for nothing no more, because they so tired of getting used by females who think they can just take from them and not give. I remember listening to this one podcast episode where the girl was talking about the dude had flew her out to some vacation. I forgot what it was. Let's say it was Anguilla. Let's say it was Anguilla. He flew her out and all of that. She didn't have to pay for nothing, pay for the flights. He was there waiting on her. And she wouldn't have sex with him. So I think he left her. He left her, told her she had to go, or and took a plane ticket or whatever, and she didn't have no way to get back. And I giggle about that because, first of all, and this may sound bad, I don't care what nobody say. Ain't no man flying you out nowhere for no weekend or no week or whatever, or no vacation, and spending his money and not expecting some pussy. And any woman who makes the decision to get flued out, like Young Miami said, flued out, and don't have the intention on giving up no pussy, you dumb as shit. All I know is you better have your own money and have your own backup flight or something, or your money to buy your flight back home, because as soon as you don't put out, your vacation is not gonna be a vacation anymore. And I don't know why you bitches is traveling without money anyway. And I'm sorry for using the word, but I mean that's the shit. Let's Mom Bitch is the name of the podcast. So you know I say it. I don't know why you bitches be traveling anywhere without money anyway. I wouldn't care if somebody was taking me to dinner in the city that I live in. I'm not going if I don't have money in my pocket to at least pay for my meal if something turned out bad. If I end up not liking the dude, if there's a red flag and I need to get up and leave, or me and him get into it and he think he about to leave me with a bill and I'm in they broke. No ma'am, no ham. Um Stop doing that to yourself, ladies. Stop thinking that these dudes are so nice that they just buying you shit and doing shit for you, and you are not expected to give anything in return. It's very, very few dudes that's gonna be like that. Nobody is giving up money for free. Just FYI. And I know y'all know that. It don't stop y'all from doing it. Y'all don't give a fuck until something bad happen, and then y'all want to give a fuck. So, Muma, Muma, y'all have to bear with me for a minute. I don't know if Miss Ma'am is gonna let me get through this, but we gonna try to work it out. I really don't plan to hold you all long today. I just wanted to shoot the shit with y'all. Um, I do want to talk about the young lady in Alabama who disappeared after allegedly seeing a toddler on the side of the interstate by themselves, and apparently she was kidnapped at that point, and people was thinking that maybe somebody used a toddler to lure her into a vehicle. They did find her vehicle still running on the interstate. She had called 911 to report that there was a toddler on the side of the road, and then nobody heard from her for 48 hours later. So then, in a strange turn of events, she just popped up at her house Saturday night, and I mean, was okay. She's alive or whatever. They took her to the hospital, and then she was treated and released. But still, this is like day two, and there has been no information in regards to what happened to her, where she was at or whatever. And to me and to America, it seemed like something fishy is going on. So I look forward to hearing what happened to her, and thank God she's home. We were all praying for her safe return. But if she was out there up to no good, that's fucked up. So many people was praying for her. So many agencies utilized their resources to try to find her and figure out what happened. Her family was worried to death. So if she was out there up to no good, shame on her, and she's probably gonna get some charges because she done made a 911 call, possibly made a false report. Like I said, all these resources was utilized to try to find her. So I hope that there's a story to tell. I hope that she wasn't playing around. And I hope that whatever injuries or trauma or whatever she went through, if she went through it, I hope she'll be able to cope with that situation and be able to heal and from that trauma. You know what I'm saying? But I do look forward to finding out what went on. And when I come back on the 14th, I'm sure that there will be more information about it. So we shall see. I don't know that I have some notes here, but I don't know that I have many more things to talk about today. I do want to say now I usually don't promote no businesses or no products because they're not paying me. But I will say this, one of the best products that I've used is from Kim Kardashian, and it's her Skims line of shapewear. And I had purchased a full bodysuit from there, and it's just amazing. It's amazing in the fact that it's a good, slimming, supportive bodysuit. And also, I don't, with my big chest, like I generally would have to have like my straps pulled all the way up, and 9 times out of 10 I'm not finding a very supportive bra but with the Skims, it holds me up pretty good. So for me, that means it's an excellent product because it's hard to get these boobs under control. It really is. Oh, boom. I do want to talk about something else. So I don't have the names, and I'm sorry. I wasn't really prepared for this week's episode. That's why it's late. But I don't have the names, but it's a gentleman in Georgia who lives down there where my in the same neighborhood as my in-laws. And black man, him and his family was fishing at a, in the local lake or whatever. And while they were over there fishing, several white people had came up on different occasions and just was harassing them, asking them do they live there, telling them that they're in the homeowners association and they pay for the lake, and if they don't live there they can't be there and all of that. I just don't understand what makes people think that it's okay to just approach somebody and be questioning them. You're not the police. Like, you don't own the lake. I could understand not wanting a whole bunch of people in your neighborhood utilizing your resources that you pay for that doesn't live there, especially if they're being unruly and loud and all this. But these people were just fishing and they live in the community. So they do have a right to be there, and they just continue to get harassed. And this gentleman, he was documenting it on TikTok. He has several videos on TikTok, and once I find out his name, I'll post it on my Instagram page so y'all can know and y'all can go watch the TikTok videos. But they just was, where do you live? What's your address? Will you not stop harassing people? I don't know, and I'll say it, I don't know why white people think it's okay to come up to black people and be questioning them and harassing them and bullying them because they assume that they're not supposed to be where they're at. Unless if they were being unruly and loud and wrong and destroying property and all that, then call the police. But who are you to be approaching anybody at any time, asking any questions? And then you look shocked when you get a negative response. Don't come and question me about shit. That's not your right. Let me take care of Nyla. Give me 1 second. She seemed to have calmed down for a moment, so let's try to get through it. Oh, I spoke too soon. Hold on, y'all. All right, y'all gonna have to hear little Miss Rachel in the background for a few more minutes. But that's all. I just don't understand why, and it happens all the time. All these Karens and Kens all the time, running up on black people at pools and parks, walking down the street, all types of shit, and they really feel entitled to do it. Um, so I don't know. I'm glad that a lot of these situations have not turned out bad, but they really can, and that would be unfortunate. So, if you're a Karen or a Ken and you're listening to this podcast, Stop doing that shit. It's not your business. Mind your business. If you think somebody's being unruly and destroying property, call the police. That's your right. But it is not your right to come up to people and harass them. That's just that on that. Um, I guess my final thing that I want to talk about is just being that this is a parenting and motherhood podcast. I just want you all to think about what your purpose is as a parent. It is a good handful of people out here that puts their self before their children, and your children are your minor children need your undivided attention. They need your undivided guidance and care and love. We need to be raising them up to be healthy, mentally and physically healthy, polite, respectful, upstanding citizens with education and with a good education and career goals. And we need to stop raising these hood niggas, these broken men and women, because you don't want to take the time out to raise the children that you made. You don't want to take the time out to teach your children, to show your children respect, teach them respect. Some of y'all be thinking that y'all kids friends or homies. I hate when I see a mom or a dad online talking about free Lil Tim. You know, that's their son that they know to rob the bank, but they want Lil Tim to be freed, and they got the little free Lil Tim t-shirts on. Like, you a part of the problem. You should not be praising or promoting anything that your child did that was illegal. No, the prison system is not a place for black men and women. It's not a place for anybody, but especially black men and women. They always try to find reasons to imprison us for wrongfully imprison us or imprison us for ridiculous amounts of time for shit that other people done got slapped on the wrist about. So no, prison is not the place for black men and women. However, if you did it and you put yourself there, that's on you. You know what I'm saying? So Alonda is not gonna say free such and such child or not if I know you did it and I know you knew better. You know what I'm saying? So we just have to be mindful about the purpose of being a parent. If you don't want to be a parent, you need to take the precautions to not being a parent. I know it's easier said than done. I know people be in the heat in the moment and then they slip up, but you don't slip up 6 times. You got 6 kids, 6 different baby daddies, and complaining because ain't none of them helping you out because all of them was just one night stands. Like, yeah, they need to be responsible for their children, but you need to be accountable for your actions too. So let's stop bringing these children into the world that you don't want to take care of. Let's stop doing that, because once you bring these children in the world, the only way that they're going to learn how to be all they can be and to be good people, upstanding citizens, to have a career, to get an education. The only way they're going to know to do that is if you teach them that and if you show them that. The only way that they're going to be able to love is if you give them love. You understand what I'm saying? So many serial killers out here are serial killers because they had a fucked up childhood. You know what I'm saying? It always be the same story. They had a fucked up childhood. One or both of their parents was fucked up. Um, it may be some rare incidences, but that's not the case. They was just thrown off. They just wanted to kill folks. You know what I'm saying? But 9 times out of 10 is from some dysfunction within the family. Uh, it's our responsibility as parents, like I said, to educate our children, to teach them respect, to give them love, to protect them, to provide for them. And as minors, they have to be put before yourself and anybody else. So, for those of you who are not doing that, let's do a better job at that. Because how do we look forward to a better future when we're not helping to create that future? That's all I have to say about that. But I'm not going to sit here and babble on with y'all. I thank you all so much for tuning into my podcast, for being with me as I try to get better and work out the kinks. Um, I plan, like I said, to be fully on video soon. Please continue to check my YouTube page at Let's Mom Bitch. Please like, share, and subscribe. Tell your friends, tell your family, other mothers, other fathers. Anybody can listen to the podcast. I think it's valuable information for anybody. Yes, it is geared towards moms and motherhood, but that don't matter. We are all parents. We're all human. We all have opinions, whether we're male or female, so anybody can listen to the podcast. I look forward to your feedback. You can send me an email at letsmom.b.podcast@gmail.com. I also have an Instagram page at Let's Mom Bitch. Also created a Facebook book group at Let's Mom Bitch. So it's so many ways that you can contact me, give advice, receive advice, offer your services. If you would like to be a guest, if you have something valuable to talk about on this platform, feel free to reach out to me. And I am going to do a better job at promoting and posting and doing all the social media stuff. I would like to get a TikTok going for the podcast. So, as I always say, I see bigger and better things to come. And I thank you all, especially the people who listens to me or watches me faithfully. I thank you all for tuning in. I am not going to do fishbowl combo for today. And I also don't have an information. I'm sorry about that. But I did just want to give you this last episode before the break so you can see my lovely face and see what I had on my mind since last week. It's possible that I may do a bonus episode at some point before the break is over. It's not a guarantee, but just keep on checking the page. Turn on your notification bell. Follow it on your, streaming platforms. And I will see you all back on August 14th. You all have a great week and a great few weeks. Bye, y'all.